Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to take a look at the Magicka Sorcerer healer build for the Summerset chapter. I do have a written guide on my website, link in the description below. When we fully buff ourselves, that's our stats. We have a lot of recovery, max Magicka, health and resistance, so it's really nice. We're running the Atronach Mundus Stone for extra Magicka recovery. Buff food, you want Witch Mothers. Gives you max Magicka, health and also Magicka recovery. You could also use Clockwork Citrus Fillet, which is a little bit better but way more expensive. Spell Power Pots, Major Sorcery, Prophecy, and they also restore Magicka. They last for 47 seconds, so that's why they're so nice. In terms of race, I can recommend High Elf, Argonian or Breton. I do prefer a High Elf because 9% Magicka recovery. 10% max Magicka, and if you want to swap to a damage dealer setup, you still have Flame Frost and Shock damage boost. You could be a vampire, but I do not recommend it because fire damage will most likely kill you. I do have several different gear setups on my website, keep in mind. So this is just one possible setup. Vestments of Olorim is one of the new must-have sets. What does it do? Casting ground-based abilities in combat will create a circle of might on the ground for 10 seconds. You will apply Major Courage for 30 seconds, increasing weapon and spell damage by 258. And when I actually use this, you can see this is a circle. Now we don't have the buff, we run into it. 30 seconds. The nice thing about this is it only lasts 10 seconds, the circle. So if you need to reapply or like to reposition yourself with the group, you can simply cast it again on the other side. And we still have 14 seconds, so we just walk into it, goes up to 30 again. With this set only on one healer, we could get about 90 to 95% uptime. So it's really strong and basically a must-have. It drops in Cloud Rest. Both perfect and imperfect versions are good. The only difference there is on the imperfect one is that it doesn't have the max Magicka bonus on the 5-piece, but everything else stays the same. Spell Power Cure used to be the go-to set for healers, but both healers had to wear it. It only had a 6-player target cap, and you only could apply it on full health players. This has a 12-player target cap. People just need to run into the circle, so one healer is enough for this. Second set, Gossamer. Now, this is sometimes used when there is a lot of incoming damage. It's actually a cool set because when you heal a friendly target, you have a 10% chance to grant them major evasion for 6 seconds, increasing their dodge chance by 15%. You could also run Sanctuary, Yorwul's, Mending here. This is just one very good option. The last set is Night Flame. So with the change to staves, now counting as 2 bonus, we can run 2 5-piece sets and a monster set. So Night Flame, Earth Gore or Sentinel are all really good choices. Make sure to have infused Tri-set enchants on the big pieces and Magicka Divine on the small. Our weapon is a restoration staff with a power trade and absorb Magicka. And then on the back bar, a lightning staff with a charge trade and a shock enchant. With a charge trade, your shock enchant has a really high chance of proccing the status effect on the enemy. And that's concussion for shock, which means the enemy will take 8% more damage. That's why we have this here. Make sure don't forget to subscribe, more videos in the future. Champion points. 23, 18, 9, 15, 37, 73, 75. Those are the most important because increased healing and increased crit healing. So if you're not max CP, focus on those two first. Then 10 Tumbling, 46 Shadow Ward, 75 Arcanist, 75 Tenacity, 44 Warlord, 49, 49, 48, 23, 81. It's all on my website, including a 300 CP set. Passives, all class passives. Then you want Destruction Staff, Restoration Staff, Light Armor. You want Juggernaut to get extra health. Fighter skilled, get Banish the Wicked. Major skilled, you don't necessarily need this, but it's nice to have. Suchik, you don't need it as well, but if you want, go for it. You need Undaunted to get the 6% bonus, because now we run 5 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy. Racial passives and medicinal use, so your potions last longer. In terms of skills, you have a few options. Healing Ward, again, really nice shielding ability. The lower the health is, the bigger the shield gets. You could swap this out because we have access to a really nice burst heal here, but I still do like it. Combat Prayer applies minor berserk to your group members, so they do 8% more damage. You need to keep this buff up all the time. It has a 20-meter range, so it's pretty big. Healing Springs, you really want to keep this up all the times. Heals for a lot, plus you actually also restore Magicka if you hit players with this. Empowered Ward places a shield on you and your pet, and on top of that also grants minor intellect to you and nearby allies, increasing your Magicka recovery by 10%. So you can see we have 2.3k. You apply this, it goes to 2.5. This also works for the group members. Then the pet. So the Magicka healers have really strong burst heal with this pet. Command your Twilight Magic to heal itself and up to 2 other friendly targets for 10k health. So that's something really cool. This scales of max Magicka, keep in mind, but it doesn't matter. No matter how much Magicka you have, it's a really strong heal. Just need to get used to that the pet sometimes dies, even with the shield on it. So you might have to recast it. And it needs to be slotted on 2 bars. Absorption Field, this is one option you have. You could also use the Resto ulti here, if you want to. But what this does is it stuns the enemies in it, and it silences them basically. And the globe also heals. 1.7k every 0.5 seconds, and the duration is 12 seconds. This can be very nice. And it's huge. Back bar. Boundless Storm. Now this can be cool. First off, it gives you Major Resolve, Major Ward, and it applies the speed buff, so you're faster. On top of that, you can apply Concussion to enemies with this, once again dealing more damage. Blockade of Storms. Now keep this up all the time on the enemy to also proc off balance. You see, when the enemy is concussed, it sets it also off balance, which is nice. When enemy is off balance, you can do a heavy attack and restore twice the amount of resources. And also, as long as this is on the ground and elemental drain is there, you get minor Magicka steal, so you return more Magicka, which increases your sustain. Plus, it applies Major Breach this here, so your group members do more damage on the enemy. Energy Orb, must have. This is from the Undaunted here. What does it do? It heals, and allies can activate the synergy, more healing, and they also get 4k Magicka or stamina back. So you really want to activate some bubbles every 10 seconds just to shoot them towards the player so they have better sustain. Then once again the Burr and Aggressive Warhorn. This gives 10% stam, Magicka and health. And it also applies Major Force, increasing your critical damage by 15 for 9 seconds. This is usually the go-to ulti for support characters. That's the setup. Torque healers are in a pretty good spot, especially if you can utilize the pet, because the heal is so strong. Once again, you can adjust your abilities to your liking. If you don't like Healing Ward, swap it out. As simple as that. There's a lot of good, useful abilities. Just saying. That's it. If you have any question, ask me in the comment section below. Please do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.